I'm Max Seibald, and you're watching Class Act Sports.
Ginsberg, and you're watching Class Act Sports. Today we're joined by a special guest, one of the best lacrosse players in the world, Max Seibald. Max, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. When did you know that you were going to go down in college as one of the best lacrosse players to ever play the game?
Not until the end of my career, truthfully. It was a goal that I set with myself and with my coach towards the beginning of my collegiate career to be the best player that I could be. But one of the goals he laid out for me was, or actually he said, I'm going to push you and you're going to be the best collegiate lacrosse player your senior year. So it was a goal that he set for me and didn't let me settle for anything less.
Now, starting out at Cornell, you filled right in as a rookie, as a freshman. You got an Ivy League Player of the Year. Talk about what that was like for you to just step right into Cornell and to start making moves immediately.
The transition wasn't as easy as it ended up looking. I came in as a freshman, not in great shape. There was a lot of adversity that I faced in the fall ball. A lot of training that took a toll on me mentally and physically. The coaches got after me and they pushed me. I think a lot more than a lot of the other guys because they had a lot of high expectations for me. But I came in. I remember our fall ball tournament, which was local. It was here at Hofstra. I was running second line midfield, and I don't think I hit the goal all fall. And the coaches continued to ride me. Before I went my own way for December break, the coaches sat me down and had a meeting like they do with all the other players and just laid out the expectations. And I went home, worked real hard, and then came in early January and started practicing with the team. And I kind of understood the system a little bit more, was a little more confident, and worked real hard on my own time and had the opportunity to play with some great leaders who kind of helped me adjust and transition smoothly into the system, and then had great leadership from my coaches as well, which kind of made it easier to jump in. And then we had a great season. Unfortunately, it ended a little early, but again, the guys that I had surrounded me really pushed me in my workouts, in practices, and allowed me to become a solid player. And another thing that added to my success that year was that I had the midfielder of the year on my line, so he drew a lot of attention, and I kind of benefited from having him and a whole lot of other great players surrounding me.
Well, you talk about the hard work, and to a lot of people, hard work can mean so many different things. Talk about the dedication that it took for you to really separate yourself from the social life in high school, social life in college, remove yourself from that atmosphere, and really get down to the nitty-gritty and helping yourself become one of the best players that you could possibly be.
Yeah, high school, you have that space to be an athlete, just go out there, and some people have the natural ability, some people work hard to get where they are, and for me, I had a mix of it all in high school. I think I was naturally gifted. I had some great coaches that surrounded me, some great players around me, and it allowed me to kind of fit into the leadership role on our team in high school, and created some success for myself. I always was pushed hard by my coaches here to work out, to get stronger, but it wasn't, I looked at it, me and my friends put in a lot of time off the field, on Saturday or Sunday when we didn't have a game. We would kind of just go out there, have a catch, shoot around, play wall ball. Not just because it was hard, extra work, it was because we enjoyed doing it, we had fun, so we went out and played lacrosse. And having that stick in our hands was kind of always something that I think allowed me to get to that next level. And when you get to college, it's a completely different commitment. Socially, you have to make some sacrifices, and from my standpoint, you don't even look at it as a sacrifice. I got a job to do. I love doing what I'm doing, and that's my choice. A lot of people go to college and go out every night. I didn't have that opportunity, or I could have, but I didn't. And I knew that I couldn't if I wanted to get to where I was, and it took a whole lot of work in the gym. We had an unbelievable strength and conditioning coach, Coach Howley, who really rode us in conditioning and lifting, and we had tests throughout freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year to kind of benchmark where we are and how we're improving. And it was always great to see the improvement, and it was also motivating to see, all right, my bench is going up, my 40 time is dropping, these little achievements within each step kind of motivated me to do a little bit more, and then that hard work eventually paid off on the field.
Absolutely, and you talk about the strength and conditioning. For those out there that want to know, okay, what did he do? What type of training exercises to get stronger, to get faster, to be the best player that they could possibly be. Where can athletes out there go? Young athletes, young kids, trying to get it to the next level. Where can they go to get these type of workouts and regimens, and what they should be doing?
It's not something that you have to go to someone else to get. And for what I learned at the collegiate level is, in order to really separate yourself, is you have to put in time, you have to dedicate yourself, but you also have to focus on details. What we did in college was really focus on technique, proper form in running, which I think helped me become a faster athlete, a quicker athlete. We did a whole lot of agility work, which is basic stuff that you do in middle school, high school, with the agility ladders, with cones and hurdles, certain things that you could drill. It's just the fact that we drill them every day, and you gotta hold yourself accountable. So if you're doing the agility ladder and you knock the ladder, you gotta go back and start from the beginning. And it's that little attention to detail that you're focusing on throughout your whole workout. So when it comes to a game, you're going out there and you're focusing on the little details. You know how to handle all this information that's coming at you and decipher what you got to do and what's happening next. So again, for the kids who are in middle school and high school who want to train to get to the next level, it's just a matter of finding your weakness and finding a way to improve yourself at it. So if you're slow, then get the agility ladders. If you're you have great endurance, but you want to get stronger, then hit the gym. And obviously, I would advise to follow a coach's or a trainer's workout plan, not just go out there and try to lift without any direction, but having some type of plan where you could see your progress is something that's always a good idea.
I understand that you won the Outstanding Commitment to Community Service Award. What did that entail for you to be such a class act and giving back to the community?
It started on early at my time at Cornell. The coaches and the seniors and the leadership group on down really emphasized the importance to our program at Cornell of getting involved in the community. So right as a freshman, I was thrust into the community in all different venues and trying to get involved. And one of the reasons we did that was, one, giving back is always important, and I learned that in high school. But also, for us at Cornell, being a part of the town, the community in Ithaca, knowing that if we're involved with the youth, those are the kids and the parents who are on the sidelines supporting us during game day. So why can't we support them during the week? And a couple of different venues in which my teammates and myself got involved in the community. For my 4 years at Cornell, where first was Big Red Readers. It was one program that in season, a bunch of the guys on the team would go over to the local school in Ithaca and just sit down in the classroom with, whether it was first grade to fifth grade in the elementary school, and we would just read to them. We would have, maybe an hour on a Thursday before game week, and we would just sit in and read and, just interact with the kids. It's one way we gave back. Another way, we prior to my arrival at Cornell, the team started something called Save the Day, which is Cornell lacrosse combined with the Dream Factory of Central New York. And each year they started different initiatives to raise money to grant the dream at the end of the year. So I ended up getting involved with that my freshman year, sophomore year, junior year. Senior year, I kind of spearheaded that group within the team, and we ran certain things like 3-on-3 tournaments to raise money. We ran blood drives and different type of fundraisers. We ran clinics. Then the more money we had, the better the dream we were able to grant. And then the other thing that we did was raise money for the Boyardi Foundation, Mario St. George Boyardi Foundation, which was a foundation that was started after one of the Cornell lacrosse members, he was a senior in '04, passed away during a game, and he was very into, he was a class act, the epitome of a class act, and he was going to Teach for America, and his friends, his teammates started this foundation after him and teamed up with the Family Reading Partnership of Ithaca. So what we did, especially, just carried on the tradition of doing that in my senior class, our senior year, took on those responsibilities and spearheaded it. We put on a 5K run to raise money where we got friends, family, alumni,
and all, the school community involved, and again, raise money for that cause. And then obviously I got that award for my time at Cornell, but since then I learned obviously the importance of getting involved in the community. So I try to still give back a little bit, or as much as I can. I make it my responsibility, I guess, to come back to Hewlett and give back to where I grew up, and some of the players who, whether it's on the lacrosse field or any way I could give back, just being around, I think, helped.
Well, speaking about giving back, you touch on Maximum Lacrosse Camps and the things you have going on there.
Right. Well, Maximum Lacrosse Camps is something I started after school. It's my own business where I put on lacrosse camps and clinics throughout the entire country, whether it's a 2-hour clinic or a few days overnight summer camp. But one way I try to give back through that avenue is giving scholarships to my camps or clinics. Giving a whole bunch of slots for people who can't afford it, who come from areas where they're underserved, and to get them to come to my camp is I think an awesome opportunity for them. And so that's one way I give back. And another way, being that I live in New York City right now, I got involved with a nonprofit program called City Lax. And they are another lacrosse group that was started to spread the game of lacrosse within New York City in the public schools, which don't have lacrosse. So it's just another way of obviously teaching kids the values of fitness and playing sports after schools and being a good team player just through lacrosse. And so in that, whether it's putting on clinics or how I have been involved, I would go to a school and maybe just show up at a practice for one of the teams and run the practice and get to hang out with the kids, sign autographs, put my 2 cents in, and then now with Facebook and all social media, I'm able to keep in touch with those kids. So it's a pretty cool, unique opportunity, and I try to stay very open and interactive with all, be it fans or people that I've taught the game, and so. That's
great. And where can kids out there, Max Seibald fanatics, get some information about your lacrosse camp?
www.maximumlacrossecamps.com. That's where all my camps will be posted. I run a whole lot of clinics. This summer I'm going to have camps all over in Minnesota, in Texas, in Long Island, Philadelphia. So I'm looking again to get involved. Last summer I did a great camp down in Texas, and I got the Bridge Lacrosse program of Dallas involved. Again, a group that is similar to City Lax in New York City, but gets those underprivileged kids to come to the camp. So we teamed up with them down there a little bit last year, and so it's something I try to do consistently, no matter where I am located. Try to get something like that involved.
Let's transition a bit and talk about now your professional lacrosse career. You had such a great career leading up until the pros, and then you go and get selected second overall by the Denver Outlaws. What was that like for you, being selected, a top 2 pick?
Yeah, it was awesome. I think prior to the draft, I knew where I was going. Some teams call you before, see if you're interested in where you want to go, what your other goals are outside of lacrosse, to see if you're a good fit for their team. And Denver was perfect for me. As soon as I officially got drafted, I was ecstatic. I mean, they're, in my mind, one of the best organizations in the MLL. They are, very professional. We get to play in Vesco Field where the Broncos play. They treat us excellent out there. Our fans are amazing. We have the highest attendance in the league. It's just an awesome experience out there. Lacrosse is booming. It's new out there, but it's growing. It's growing so fast, and it's great to be a part of that. And I'm heading out there in a couple of weeks, and I'm running a clinic. And I like to be involved in the communities that where I play. So right now, Denver is a huge part of my career. It's a huge part of my life now with lacrosse. So to get involved with the Denver Outlaws organization and within the community is huge. Like I learned from my coaches and the older players who, when I was a freshman, how important it is to be involved with the community. If I could use, lacrosse as a way of reaching out and teaching these kids, the values that I was taught in lacrosse and in life through the sport and different ways to, or different life lessons, then I'm going to take advantage of that opportunity.
And now you're doing, what's it like playing in Denver? Is all the hype true about the altitude?
It's definitely, you feel like you're a little bit more out of shape when you're out there running around in Mile High Stadium. I mean, you get winded very fast, or faster than normal. I'd like to pride myself on working out real hard and being in shape, and I think I'm in shape, or probably in one of the better shapes on my team. But I still feel the effects, especially early on in the season when I haven't been out there too much, and it does take a while to get acclimated to the altitude. So it's a fun experience, but it's even for everyone.
You're running faster out there?
Running faster, shooting harder.
All right.
Yeah.
Speaking about shooting harder, I know you tied the world record of 110-mile-an-hour shot. Now talk about what that's like for you to be able to whip a ball that fast, and how you are able to do something like that.
111. I tied it. It was my rookie season. I hit 110, and for the short, because I was early on in the fastest shot contest, for the short 3-minute period, I held the world record, which I was again ecstatic about, and totally unexpected. I didn't know I had a shot that fast. At the time, maybe it was the thin air out in Denver, but Paul Rabel came up and beat me. Got 111 that year, so he had the world record. And this past summer, I had a chance to match him and hit 111. He hit 111. So right now, I guess we're the co-holders of the fastest shot in the world. Officially, I guess I don't know if anyone unofficially has beaten it, but and that was in Boston, so it could have been the air. I'll credit that to a little hard work.
Yeah, absolutely. What are some of the goals that you now have set for yourself moving forward?
Some of my lacrosse goals definitely come from, all fall down to winning. I mean, for the Philadelphia Wings and indoor for the NLL, I want to be a champion. For the Denver Outlaws, I want to be a champion. And I want to win multiple championships for both those teams. And ultimately, I think one of my other goals is to be a part of Team USA and win another gold medal when they're held in the U.S. in 2014 in Denver. And again, winning a gold medal for the USA indoor team this summer, where we're actually heading to Prague. We'll be representing the red, white, and blue again. So a couple more championship rings and medals, and I think I'll be set.
Absolutely. So it looks like you still have a long career ahead of you.
I hope so.
Max, what message do you have for the young kids out there that are trying to be as successful in a sport as you are?
There's a whole lot that I could, a huge message that I could put out there, all different aspects. One, if you want to become a player at the next level, Division I, Division II, III, club, and the collegiate level, I always looked at lacrosse as, a stepping stone to get me into a better college. So academics, I think it all stems from. If you could, dedicate to your teachers as much as you dedicate to your coaches, the hard work, the time, the effort, if you could bring that all from the field into the classroom, then you're going to do well. And if you just like in lacrosse, if you don't know if you want to shoot harder and you work at shooting harder, then you do the same thing when you're in math class and you don't know how to, do a certain problem, work at it. Put in the time. It's going to pay off. If you do your job in the classroom, everything else, on the field will fall into place as well. You just got to bring that same work ethic. Work ethic is huge. If you could, do it on and off the field, you're going to be good. Just continue to push yourself to always become better. Other than that, physical education, always staying in shape, worrying about what you're eating, being cognizant of your surroundings, trying to always stay physically fit is something that I think is just part of life. And whether you're playing sports or not, that's a huge part of life. And I think that's something that is going to help you become great. And then other than that, just continuing to never settle. If you could, well done is better than well said is a quote that one of my leaders at Cornell always said. And if you could live by that, if you could, all people talk, all people say a lot of great things and pump themselves up. But if you could just go out there, put your head down, get the job done, and work hard, then I think at the end of the day, you'll be successful and be happy, but not satisfied.
Absolutely. Well, Max, we appreciate you taking the time to stop by. From Class Act Sports, I'm Jared Ginsberg. We say goodbye to Max Seibald, and we wish you the best of luck accomplishing the rest of your goals and winning those championships that you deserve.
Thank you.
Thank you
for
very
having me.
much. Appreciate it.